The voice in your head. It was 2:47 a.m. New York City was quiet in a way it rarely was. Streetlights hummed. A siren cried somewhere far away. The world seemed to be resting. Everyone. Except Ethan Brooks. He sat on the edge of his bed, laptop balanced on his knees. The screen glowed softly in the dark room. Resume open. Cursor blinking. Blink. 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 Like it was waiting for him to make a move. But Ethan didn't type. Instead, he stared. And inside his head, the voice started again. You're already behind. People your age are doing better. Why even try? Ethan shut the laptop. Not angrily. Not dramatically. Just tired. This wasn't new. This voice had been with him for years. Ethan was 29 years old. On paper, he was doing fine. Bachelor's degree. Decent jobs. Rent paid. Food on the table. If you met him at a coffee shop, you'd think he was calm. Maybe even confident. But that calm was practiced. Inside his head, there was noise. Constant. Relentless. Psychology has a name for it. The inner critic. A voice that sounds like you. Thinks like you. But doesn't actually serve you. The voice always spoke in facts. Or at least, it sounded like facts. Remember last time? You always mess it up. You're not built for this. And because it used his own voice, Ethan believed it. That's the dangerous part. We question strangers. We doubt enemies. But we rarely doubt our own thoughts. The truth was, this voice wasn't born with him. It was trained. Years earlier. College dorm room. Second year. Ethan stood in front of a whiteboard, hands slightly shaking. Startup pitch night. Nothing huge. Just students sharing ideas. Ethan had prepared for weeks. Simple concept. Real problem. Clean solution. He started explaining. 2 minutes in, a guy in the back laughed lightly and said, "That's never gonna work, man." People chuckled. Not cruelly. Just casually. But Ethan felt it. Something cracked. He finished quickly. Sat down. Smiled like it didn't matter. But inside, his brain wrote a rule. Speaking up leads to embarrassment. And the brain loves rules. Psychology calls this memory encoding. One emotional moment can shape years of behavior. That one sentence followed Ethan everywhere. At work meetings. At interviews. In relationships. Every time he wanted to speak, the voice appeared. Don't. Stay safe. So Ethan stayed quiet. And quiet slowly became stuck. Years passed. Jobs came and went. Ethan was reliable. Never risky. Never outstanding. Ideas filled notebooks. But never saw daylight. Dreams turned into someday. And someday became never. Not because Ethan was lazy. But because his brain preferred familiar discomfort over unknown failure. That's how the mind works. One night, scrolling endlessly on his phone, something stopped him. A notification. Mark Wilson launched his startup. Mark. Same college. Same classes. Same professors. Ethan clicked. Photos. Smiles. Comments. So proud of you. Knew you'd make it. Ethan locked his phone. His chest felt tight. Not jealousy. Regret. He whispered into the empty room. Why not me? The voice answered instantly. Because you're not him. That night, Ethan barely slept. Thoughts looped. Mistakes replayed. Moments he stayed silent. Chances he didn't take. Around sunrise, exhausted, he finally slept. And dreamed. In the dream, Ethan stood in a long hallway. Doors on both sides. Each door had a label. What if? Too risky. Later. Not good enough. At the end of the hallway, one door glowed softly. It said, "Try." Ethan walked toward it. The voice shouted, "Don't open it." He reached for the handle. And woke up. Heart racing. The next morning, something felt different. The voice was louder than usual. "See? You're falling behind. You're wasting time." Normally, Ethan would accept it. But this time, he paused. And for the first time ever, he asked, "Why do you talk like this?" The voice didn't respond. Because thoughts don't like being questioned. That silence. That was new. Later that day, Ethan attended a free psychology workshop near Brooklyn. He almost didn't go. The voice tried. Pointless. But he went anyway. The speaker was calm. No hype. No shouting. She said one sentence that cut through everything. Your brain's job is survival, not happiness. Ethan froze. She explained. Fear evolved to protect us from pain, rejection, danger. But in modern life, that same system overreacts. Public speaking isn't death. Failure isn't exile. But the brain treats it like it is. Because it doesn't know the difference. Then she said, that voice in your head isn't evil. It's outdated software. Ethan felt exposed. Like she was talking directly to him. She taught one simple practice. Don't fight the thought. Label it. When fear says, you'll fail. Respond with, that's fear talking. Not agreeing. Not arguing. Just noticing. Psychology calls this cognitive diffusion. Separating yourself from your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You are the one hearing them. That night, Ethan tried it. The voice said, you'll never do anything meaningful. Ethan replied quietly. That's my inner critic. Something strange happened. The thought lost weight. It was still there. But weaker. Like a radio turned down slightly. A week later, Ethan did something uncomfortable. He shared one of his ideas online. Nothing huge. Just a simple post. The voice panicked. Delete it.